Hey, it's Michael Saul, also known as Tiny, with the market video for the week of September 2nd, 2013. I hope everybody had a wonderful Labor Day. On a personal observation, this summer went by probably the fastest as I can remember, but I hear that as the years progress, in other words, as you get older, that time flies a lot faster. I don't know where it went. I can remember it was my middle son's birthday in early June, and now we're getting ready for my youngest son's birthday next week. It's just amazing how fast it went. Anyway, I digress. Let's take a look at the market here and what was set up in and what I'm thinking about for this week. So we're currently holding the 50% retracement of this last swing up. The swing started the end of June, came up till this high in early August, and since then it's been pulling back. So far it held this 50% retracement. Now, on Labor Day, even though the markets were closed, the S&P futures, they opened up Sunday night and traded for a little bit into the what would be normally considered the normal open on Monday. So you could see here that we had a pretty nice update. This still looks corrective to me. If you see the S&P, you can see we're holding a 2-point trend line. Really isn't a real solid trend line, in my opinion. You have to have at least 3 points to have an official trend line, and this one really isn't a good one with only 2 points. You see, you can't really call a trend line 2 points because you can connect really any 2 points. But if I do this, I do see the 3-point trend line. Okay, so just wanted to point that out and do that readjustment for you so you can see how I usually look at things. So this looks like a pretty solid trend line, which means if it gives way, we should see a further retracement. Now, the reason that we had a good day when the futures reopened on Sunday night, we seemed to have a good day, in my opinion, and it's the only excuse I could find so far, is that Obama has given the Syria decision over to Congress. So there's a little cold water thrown on that. In my opinion, I don't really think it matters. I think that we're going to go lower here on the short term. I still don't think that the absolute high, and I'm not talking about for years and years and years. I'm talking about, I don't even think the highs for this year are in yet. Not saying that this can't be the high of 2013, but I'm still looking for more evidence. And in my opinion, on the short term, I am looking for weakness, see how far we come down, and then the next bounce that happens, if we lose this, that's going to tell me if this is the high or not, or if we're looking good and if we could just in my opinion, go back and retest that high. So there are a lot of things. There's evidence both ways here. Like I said, as of right now, I am not calling a top here. Still 4 months left in the year. So far, it's been a pretty good year, percentage return wise, and you always have to think of that when you're looking at, whose agenda is going to be pushed. And for right now, we do have sell Rosh Hashanah, buy Yom Kippur coming up. That's Rosh Hashanah, I believe, starts Wednesday night. So this week we only really have 2 days until that tendency may set in, and it's not an in-stone tendency. It doesn't work all the time. Just something to think about here. But the technical picture, like I said, despite Monday's day and despite the news about Syria being on hold for the time being, I still think the technical picture suggests lower prices. So that's what I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching to see if this gives way, and this low, which is basically last week's low, gives way, and how far of a retracement we get afterwards. So the Qs had a different kind of day, a different kind of week. Sorry, they poked up, hit a new high by a penny, and then got smacked hard. They got the 50-day moving average coming in underneath. Here's the Russell, which actually had been acting okay, but now hit a relative new low. It didn't hit a obviously new low on the year, but compared to what had been going on. And then the Dow, the Dow still looks weak. And, if the market does turn, if we don't just gap and go and this was the low and they just brush everything off and we decide to rally, I'm looking for the 200-day moving average to be tested next. Okay, so that's it. Feel free to contact me with any questions, tiny@stockmarkettrendsex.com. If not, I will talk to you in next week's video or in the daily newsletter or through the daily email. Have a great trading week.